Good afternoon from the Pastor's Kitchen. Day 5 for Pat and I in our confined to barracks is what I'm calling it. Doing our part to help minimize the spread of COVID-19. Hopefully all you folks are doing well and feeling okay and taking care of each other. This sort of downtime, if you will, kind of a forced break, has given us here at this house some opportunities to do some things that in our busy schedules which we never had time. And one of those things that I've struggled with is getting through some of the boxes that have traveled with me over the last 25, 30 years through my different postings in the Canadian Armed Forces, and even when we moved up here to Redwater 3 years ago. And interestingly enough, I found a box full of glass cups and wine cups and stuff like that. But right there in the midst of those, I found a whole bunch of my comic books. I used to collect comic books a number of years ago, and I just wanted to share one that I remember collecting and so happy to find again. Captain Canuck, Canada's superhero. Issue number 2, worth 35 cents when it came out. And it looks like I bought it at probably a flea market or some other place for $1. I just wonder, what's that worth these days? Anyways, those are the kind of things that we get to do when we have some downtime. But I do want to talk to you about, as a Christian, not only our response to COVID-19, but how do we deal with this on a daily basis? One of the things that often happen when we have this kind of thing happen, even if it's not COVID-19, but whatever happens in our life, whether it's an illness or a financial issue, a relational issue, we often ask the why question. Why me? Why God? Why is this happening? I think sometimes maybe we should ask the what question. For a follower of Jesus, and the reason we are followers of Jesus is because we put our faith and trust in Him. And faith is not a formula, a fire insurance or life insurance plan or program. It is an active, spiritual component of our lives. And faith is like a muscle of a human body. It needs to be exercised. And often we don't think of those things, especially here in the West, where, we have a lot of things here that most countries in this world don't have. Just a drink of water from the tap makes us very rich compared to others in this world. So I think COVID-19 is an opportunity for us to consider the what question. Asking God, what are you wanting me to do, Lord, in this time, this season that I'm in right now? What are you doing in my life? And that's a good question to ask. One of the things about, again, as I said about faith, it's a muscle and needs to be exercised. I just want to read from James chapter 1, verse 2 to 4. It goes like this. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. It's interesting that these trials and temptations come into our life and they're not wasted by God. Nothing's wasted by God. Not a moment of your life is wasted in the economy of our Lord. So this is an opportunity to face these trials, as the writer here says, James, in pure joy, for we know who is sovereign, God. And as we face these trials of many kinds, not just COVID-19, many kinds, we know that will test our faith and challenge our faith and even grow our faith and give us perseverance. Another way to say this is endurance for the long haul. We're not doing a sprint here in life. We're doing a marathon. And this opportunity should not be wasted, and I hope I don't. I can get caught up in all the news. I can get caught up in all the fear. I can get caught up in all these things, and even my own, salary, my own everything is in question these days, and I can get caught up in all that. And I need to remember what God is doing in my life. He's growing my faith and trust in Him. And perseverance or endurance must finish its work so that you and I may be mature and complete and grow, not lacking anything. And further on down the text, it says, if you want wisdom, ask God. And God will give you wisdom because he is generous in his giving. We just need to believe and not doubt. Believe and not doubt. So if you're struggling with this, if you're wondering the whys, may I challenge you to ask the what. And one of the verses I want to share as I close this off and let you go about your business is one of my verses that I go to in moments like this and any other struggles that I've had in life is Psalm 121. It puts things into perspective so clearly for me, and I hope it does for you. Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Friends, the Lord is watching over our lives, and he's very interested in what's going on in your life right now. So again, I challenge you to ask the what question. And pray for each other, pray for your neighbors, serve, help, don't stop giving, be an encouragement, take care of yourself. By taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your neighbor. And all the best to you, and God bless. Until next time.